This week on Destination Polaris Project X, Rugged Radios transforms the RS1 into a Funko-style SS1 race car.
This is our inspiration.
A build inspired by an off-road racer who passed away in his race car.
To honor my husband, I have no words for it.
Rugged Radios gives back to the Bouchard family. Their most meaningful build yet. Destination Polaris starts right now.
Destination Polaris is presented by Rugged Radios, the authority in communications.
Welcome to Destination Polaris and the Central Coast of California.
Rugged Radios has been here on the Central Coast, Arroyo Grande, right on the border of Pismo Beach for 15 years.
The leaders in off-road and racing communications have outgrown their current shop. So Rugged Radios is building this new facility. The new sales and distribution center will include a fab shop and a car museum to display their Project X builds.
It's going to be the destination for the Central Coast.
Check out Rugged's iconic builds for Project X.
These aren't just trailer queens. They don't just look pretty in the showroom. We use them. It all started with the Baja Razor. Man, that thing just took off. Then we went to the Rugged General, the 41 Willys on the Polaris General chassis, just amazing. Then came the 32, completely knocked it out of the park. 32 Ford 5-window coupe from American Graffiti on a Turbo 1000 chassis. Wow, doesn't get much better. These cars have more of a meaning, more of a story behind it than just building a cool car.
So many fun memories in these machines, but Rugged's taking their next Project X to be their most memorable yet. Our first ever RS1 build will be in memory of an off-road racer who passed away while racing back in 2012, Ron Bouchard.
This Project X build absolutely has the most meaning to it because this Project X is about the Rugged family.
Greg Cottrell owns Rugged Radios and wanted to do something special for his employee and friend, Steve Bouchard.
This means the world. I'm doing something for him and his family. I love him like a brother.
Steve grew up off-roading with his older brother, Ron.
Ronnie, that's what I know him as, is Ronnie, ever since I was a little kid. He worked at Funko for several years. For me, my biggest bonding point was going to the track with him, just my brother and I.
Ron Bouchard loved to build cars, work on them, and race. The father of two suffered a heart attack mid-race during the Freedom 250 in Barstow, California. At 50 years old, he passed away in his Funko race car.
And with it being a single-seat car out in the middle of the desert, there was nobody to help.
It hit me really hard because he's my dad. So, and we did a lot of stuff together.
That day that I was picking up my very first UTV was the day my brother passed away, which is the day that my life changed.
The Bouchard family continues to race, ride, and honor Ron. Now, Steve gets to design a Funko car replica, transforming a Polaris Razor RS1 into an SS1.
So here it is, the Funko SS1. This is our inspiration for this build. Single seat car, long nose, cool pods, and of course the true Funko bumper on the front.
So Steve's been involved in the build for the most part from beginning to end, but we have a few extra surprises in store for him, don't we?
We've done some really neat things. You know what? I wanted to take this over the top because this entire build is inspired by Ron Burchard, Steve's brother. So you know what? I got his signature from his original driver's license. I took that signature, we put it digitally into the seat so it's stitched into the seat. His favorite drink was Diet Pepsi. Okay, so we've put the Diet Pepsi sponsored logo on the side of it. The one thing that means the most to me is I put a little saying right in the top. So when Steve is in the car and he looks up, it's gonna say, "Take it to the finish."
NV Fabrication will do the build, and then we'll unveil it at Funko Motorsports to Steve and Ron's family. We're excited, but we have a lot of work to do first.
Time for teardown, boys.
As the guys complete teardown, we take a quick break. When we come back, we start our transformation and hear what this means to Steve. You're watching Destination Polaris. Welcome back to Project X. NV Fab customizes all of Rugged Radio's builds. And to start, Nick is redesigning the cage. Nick Valentine owns this off-road metal fabrication shop and does the majority of the work himself. What do you love about this build versus all the others that you've done?
It's always just fun having a lot of creative freedom and just having nice flowing lines and making something iconic.
He can take my vision, take my dreams, and put it into reality. And you just don't find that. When I say he's a master fabricator, he absolutely is. His fabrication skills are completely off the chart, and the best thing about him, he's creative.
Nick customized the RS1 cage, making it 6 inches shorter. He then sends it to Central Coast for powder coating. This is Ron's original sketch of his Funko car, and Steve used that to help him design the RS1.
It's been really cool for me to be like dead set in the middle of it on what's going to go on the car and how it's going to look.
I will never forget that day early on when we set the fiberglass on the Polaris RS1 just to do the mock-up. Steve looked over at me and said, "I feel it like I'm building this with my brother." And right then, it just about took me down. And I knew that this is the right thing.
So what'd you choose for suspension?
Oh, Lone Star, of course. Running in the desert with these cars, I definitely wanted some really good suspension on there. A little wider stance, a little longer wheelbase with the cars. One of the key things with the Funko cars, and that goes everything from their sand cars to their desert cars and stuff, is the fact that they handle really well. They are absolutely fabulous for their suspension on their cars. The main difference is these are 3.5 inches over per side on it, but you can also tell a lot of the structural strength that has been added into these front A-arms versus the factory ones.
Rugged used Lone Star's rear trailing arms too, paired with Fox shocks.
I got a hold of Rick Strobel with Fox. He sent a brand new set of their race series shocks for the RS1, SS1, and it's gonna be fantastic. I can see it already. Up front, the race series 2.5 shocks, obviously fully visible in the front of the car. The rear, mostly visible, except for a little bit that's gonna be hidden behind the pods from the car back in the day. For tires and wheels, got BF Goodrich 30-inch UTV tires, the KR2s, and then the wheels, Walker Evans forged wheels in a 15 beadlock.
Next, Rugged installed their new single seat kit.
With the single seat kit, you have the 60-watt radio. The 60-watt radio lets you communicate to the other cars. Simply hit the push to talk, you talk to the other cars. This is a single seat kit. You don't need an intercom system. That's where our little black box comes into place. That's the Bluetooth kit that allows you to listen to music, do everything, pair your phone to it, and ties the whole kit together.
Bluetooth for your phone, you can take calls, you can listen to music, and you can talk to your buddies in their machines as well.
Absolutely. The Rugged single seat kit lets you do it all.
When we come back, we head to the shop to finish the build, and we reveal the special touches inspired by Ron Bouchard. You're watching Destination Polaris Project X. Welcome back to Destination Polaris Project X.
Each one seems to go better and better, so the next one gets harder and harder to kind of push the envelope.
Rugged Radios is transforming the Razor RS1 into a Funko SS1 race car.
This build is about an inspiration. It's inspired by Ron Bouchard.
This is a little 1970s flashback. The body panels and the hood for our new Razor RS1 are molded from these Funko car originals, from the old to the new.
It's all about the fiberglass. It's all about the body. That's where the project started, with the 1970s fiberglass body that raced a ton of races, the Mint 400, Baja, you name it, it did it. So just that fiberglass, the history behind it, just inspired the rest of the project. McQueen fiberglass, they took the fiberglass, they made a mold for the exact replica fiberglass, but then we had to make it a little wider. We had to make it a little shorter. And it was sized right, but it still has the original old school look.
As we install the fiberglass, Steve gives his final reaction before being sent home.
It's not gonna matter. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna talk about it right now and I start crying. So, I mean, I've got the gist of it, but I have no idea all the little things, and I'm foreseeing that there's gonna be something that just takes it over the top.
He's gonna be a basket case. So get your interviews done before he sees it, because it's gonna be all tears.
That is so awesome. He's gonna be blown away. We sent Steve home. He's gone. He does not get to see the rest of the build until it is officially complete. And Greg, a lot of that is because these are the little touches that we have been waiting to unveil.
You know, this is Ron's signature. This is his race number that he had and the logo Bouchard Racing that he designed. So these are like the touches that we've started to put through the car. That's why we sent Steve home. We didn't want him to see this part because we want to surprise him. And Steve, this is all for you, brother. This is just the start. I can't wait for it all to come together.
Rugged Radios hired Brand Creative to work their magic on the hood and side pod decals and wrap.
Justin Crockett from Brand Creative, man, he did amazing. He helped us, we designed everything, printed it, laid it out just perfect, and it pulled the entire theme together. His favorite drink was Diet Pepsi. Okay, so we've put the Diet Pepsi sponsored logo on the side of it.
It's all in the detail, right down to the Funko style front bumper.
So when you first walk up to the car, you see the iconic bumper. Back in the 70s, when Funko built a front bumper, they cut out steel Funko letters and welded it to the front of the car.
And if this thing is going to race in the desert, it's also going to need a light bar.
You know, originally why I went to Casey is because of the old school heritage. They're the innovators in off-road lighting. I remember KC when I was a little kid, that iconic KC smiley face logo. So of course, all of my cars, I have to have the best in lighting KC highlights.
So our final 3 touches will give you all of the feels. They've really been what I've been looking forward to most. Greg, do you want to unveil the first?
Absolutely. This is the PRP seat that Steve designed. He designed everything about the layout on the seat, but we added something extra special. We put Ron Burchard's signature stitched into the seat. Steve has no idea.
He is going to love that. Ron Burchard's signature in there, and also this is Ron Burchard's original steering wheel from his Funko car. So this too is going in the car as a reminder to Steve of his brother.
And for the final touch to finish off this car, I added a little saying right in the sun visor. To the finish with a checkered flag, and it's got Ron's signature on it. This is to remind Steve that Ron never had a chance to finish the race that he started, so Steve can once again take him to the finish. So the build is finally finished. We're loading up, we're driving down south, and we're going to Funko. This is gonna be a tough day tomorrow, because you know what? I think he's gonna be totally shocked and surprised. He's gonna have his family there, and I can't wait to do this for him.
When we come back, the moment we've all been waiting for. Rugged Radios presents this build to the Burchard family. You're watching Destination Polaris. Welcome back to Rialto, California, home of Funko Motorsports. This is where the original Funko race car was born.
This is the last place where my brother was. So the Funko car, the family, this whole build, there isn't a better place to do it than right here.
Steve Burchard chose this location to unveil our Rugged Radios Funko style RS1.
I can't tell you how excited I am for this. The build up to this, it's gonna be amazing.
What Greg's gonna show here today to honor my husband, I have no words for it.
The off-road community truly is one big family, and how cool is this? We've got the Funko guys here, the Rugged Radio team, and the Burchard family. You guys ready?
Ready! Woo! Guys, bring out that car.
Go up there, what do you think? What do you think, huh?
This thing's amazing. Amazing.
I want you to put your hands on the steering wheel. This is the actual steering wheel from his car. I want you to look up. He didn't have a chance to finish his race, so when you're in this car, you're taking him to the finish.
You have no idea. Myself, or Holly, my wife.
Everything with this build means a lot to me, and as well as I know it does for him. Just all the little touches and.
You feel Ron in there?
I do. I feel like I need a Diet Pepsi.
Ron would be totally stoked with this. He's just pulling Steve out. Let's go for a ride.
As much as this meant to the family, it meant just as much or more to me to do this for the family. I'm normally never at a loss for words, but I'm at a loss right now.
Steve's next request was to throw a little dirt on her. So we went to Glen Helen Raceway.
Holy cow, this thing is good. Actually getting to rip it around on the Lucas track, so fun.
It may be a single-seat car, but Steve wasn't riding alone today.
First thing, when I got in, I went to put my helmet on. As soon as I tipped my head back, I seen to the finish with my brother. Out of 100%, 119. That's where it's at.
The Bouchard family says that this RS1 SS1 will race.
We're kind of toying around with the Mint 400.
And Steve, in loving memory of his brother Ron, will take car 119 to the finish.